everybody.
It's Live Friday. We're back in the office.
All right. So, first things first. We're going to cover a couple of things today. The first one is penalties. Penalties.
Oh, Mike's watching. Hey, Mike.
Hi, Mike. We're we're late today because we actually had a student and her teacher from Memorial High School in.
Yeah, I'm getting an assistant.
We're gonna do some. We're gonna take part in the co-op program for a student who's interested in this industry. So I'm pretty excited actually because we can give her a real life.
She wants to be an accountant. We'll see if she still wants to be an accountant after she hangs out with us.
Yeah, maybe we'll see if she wants to partake in one of our Friday lives while she's in. We'll see what happens, but. Obviously I'm not gonna talk about her name or anything because she doesn't know.
But she might be
I need
guest
permission.
host
but yeah, we'll see.
Friday.
We'll see. I'm pretty excited though. I'm a little excited about that. It's gonna be pretty cool. But today we are gonna talk about penalties and we're gonna talk a little bit about tax credits. So. No more cussing in the office. Yeah,
I said that already. That we're going to have to watch our
Tracy's
language.
like, this could be an issue.
Like, oh man, I don't know how I'm going to do with that. But we'll
could be an issue. We'll work on it. We'll talk to her the first day and say, okay, listen, we are a little potty mouth sometimes.
We're real people. That's all I have to say.
And sometimes accounting.
Accounting is frustrating.
It can be.
And sometimes you just gotta let an F-bomb go.
It can be. Not all the clients are really good at keeping their stuff in order. It's true.
Don't get me wrong. I love organizing, but sometimes I gotta play a little bit of CSI, and that I don't love as much.
Contemplated changing the name of the business to CSI Accounting, actually, but... All right.
It's surprisingly very fitting.
You didn't know that before you started here. Like, you wouldn't have expected... People, I don't think people do, but people don't understand how much
Well, to be honest, when you said, data entry, I figured I was just, data entry. Take it from the page, put it in the computer. No, there's this whole fog in the middle of... Does that belong to this? Does this belong to that? Well, that's 2 payments for this. And it's fun.
Categorizing stuff, making sure it's in the right expense. Oh yeah. It's a lot of fun.
We get to teach our student.
It's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to it. All right, first up, penalties.
Penalties!
So there's 2 different kinds of penalties that I want to talk to you about. First is business penalties. Second is taxpayer penalties. So first up, business penalties. If you are late...
Hi, Steph. Why are you not schooling?
Oh, it's lunchtime.
Oh, it's lunch. Never mind.
I was like, wait a minute.
Hi, Janice.
Hi, Janice. Okay, so first up, business penalties, okay? So if you file any remittance or any report late, you are subject to a penalty and or interest. So, for example... If you are a quarterly HST GST remitter and you file your return late, you're going to be charged a percentage of the amount that you actually owe.
Penalties. Penalties suck because it's money for nothing.
It's true.
And they're not small penalties.
No. Some penalties can be huge.
Yeah.
We were looking at a client yesterday, or the day before.
Yesterday.
The last couple of days. All my days are full.
I was literally speechless.
Yeah. So
when I seen the penalties and interest.
Yep. In the last 2 years, this client is paying more than $100,000 in penalties and interest for late filing because their bookkeeper wasn't on top of getting things done properly and on time. $160,000. That would kill any business.
For nothing.
Yeah.
You don't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
Just because you're late putting something in.
So don't be late.
Oh, it's a lot of money.
And my advice to you, if you are a business person, is if your remittances are being given to you late or being filed late because your bookkeeper is handling it, or you're sort of leaving that up to them, and maybe you don't pay too much attention to the remittances. And I'm not just talking GST; I'm talking about payroll as well and your corporate tax return.
Yeah. You have till the 15th of each month to pay your payroll remittances for the month before.
Yep.
You miss that 15th deadline, you're going to get penalties, and if it keeps going, you're going to get interest.
Yep, exactly.
And it adds up.
It adds up tremendously.
And every penalty you get, it goes up and up.
So here's a tip. If your current bookkeeper is causing you penalties for late filing, you need to take a really hard look at what's going on in your books.
You need to talk to us.
Yeah, that too. That too. But you need to take a look because you can't have late remittances. It can't happen.
No. It's literally...
The penalties will kill your business.
Penalties just drive me crazy because, like I said, you're not getting anything out of it. It's just, like I said, $160,000. That would crush any small business.
Yeah. It's hard to believe they're still operating, considering... and that was just one account.
Pay that
they have,
back.
you know...
You can't get out of it.
Yeah, there's no way to get out of that.
Once it's there, it's there. You got to pay it.
Yeah.
So you got to not only pay your remittances, you got to pay that penalty on top of that.
Yep.
That's crazy.
And there's ways to get around it, right? You know you charge GST. If you find... Oh, get rid of that. If you find that you have a hard time coming up with your GST every quarter, put it aside right at the point of sale or put it aside monthly.
And we do have clients that do that.
Yeah.
And when then they get their GST bill, they're ready.
Yeah. There's no concern, right? It's
they
dealt
just pay
with.
it. Done.
Yep.
Don't have to worry about it.
So you make $100 sale and $15 in GST. Put the GST in a separate bank account.
Mm-hmm. Just put it away. Forget about it.
Yeah.
It's not your money to begin with.
Exactly.
So it's the government's money. A lot of people, you know, they're like, "Oh, I just made $115." Well, no, you made $100. Put that $15 away, and when you get your GST bill, done. Don't gotta worry about it.
And 9 times out of 10, actually 10 times out of 10, if you do that sort of thing, your GST bill is going to be lower because you're going to have input tax credits from all of the things that you buy, right? So, you know, if you want to know more, you know, let's give me a call or sit down and talk to us, and we'll kind of help you set up something. But if you have a hard time maintaining your GST and keeping a handle on that, and same with payroll remittances. If you cut all those checks to all those people, cut one for the remittance amount and put it in a separate account. That way it's gone. You don't have to worry about it.
And that way, when you get your bill, you can just pay it. And you don't have to worry about these penalties and fines, stuff like that. So, and, you know, we do payroll remittances. So, you need some help, just let us know.
Yep. The second side of penalties is personal tax penalties. So they have changed recently, so I'm going to refer to the CRA website just so I don't quote you guys wrong. But the penalties for filing your taxes late can be astronomical. Okay? So if you owe, and you file late, and literally the day after is late, you're looking at a penalty of 5% of whatever you owe. Okay? 5%.
So if you owe a lot of money.
If you owe $100, 5%
of a lot of money
right?
is a lot of money.
Exactly. So I did the math quickly, on $5,000, you're looking at $250. Plus interest. Now here's the kicker. If you are repeat or habitual late filer, that doubles. So now you're looking at 10%.
Yeah, $500.
And then if you don't file your return the next year, it doubles. Now you're looking at 20%. So not filing your return on time can cost you a huge amount of money.
And you wouldn't believe how many people come in here and haven't filed in 10 years. Can you imagine?
All the time.
Can you imagine the
Constantly.
the penalties?
Yeah, I just did 6 years today, just for a guy this morning. So
yeah, it's an every week occurrence for us to get multiple years, anywhere between 3 to 10 years from people.
Yeah.
So big penalties, big fines, big interest. You know. And it's just, it just drives me crazy because it's literally money for nothing.
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
I hate paying for shipping. If I'm ordering, Mike can verify this, I would rather spend $20 and buy something extra than spend $5 on shipping.
Yeah,
because I like to get something for my money.
Yeah.
You know, you work your butt off to get your money. Why just throw it away on nothing?
Yeah. So. Penalties, you're just giving them money. Just here you go. Have some more money, government, because I love you.
Yeah.
What? No. So file your stuff on time.
True.
Yeah.
Because he yells at me all the time.
File your stuff on time. File your HST on time. File your payroll remittances on time. File your taxes, both corporate, small business, and personal, on time. No penalties. Easy as that.
And we're here to make things easier for you.
We're here, people.
So, yeah. Bring it
I
in.
might not be here for 9 days in February in the beginning of the month.
I'll be here, though. But I won't leave you hanging high and dry.
Well, and E-file won't be open. E-file won't be open anyways. E-file doesn't open until the second week. I got weird things going on. E-file doesn't open until the second week. Tracy's fixing my hair.
You moved.
I know, but because
Don't move.
Okay, I'll hold very still.
Don't move. See, look at that. Oh, you crap it.
Okay, next. Tax credits. Okay, so every individual gets their own tax credits. You can save some of those tax credits and give them over.
Mention your YouTube.
Oh,
we are on YouTube.
Smart girl.
Aren't you smart, Miss Stephanie?
Okay, so tax credits. Every person in your household is due their own tax credits, right? So whether it's you or your husband or your kids, y'all get that y'all get that 11,000 and change.
Bucket of corn nuts there.
You all get the 11,000 and change, so you can make $11,000 tax free, right? But there are also credits like age amount and the pension amount, and there's all these different credits that apply, right? Each person gets their own credits, and when you're a couple, you can share those. Some of them are transferable, and you can take credits from your kids for their tuition and things like that, right? But something that was asked of us today that we're going to clarify with you guys is the disability tax credit,
which we've talked about 100 times because it's huge.
It's massive, and people just until people say, "Oh my God, I've heard that already." I'm going to keep talking about it because there's so many people that don't know about it. So the fact is this. The disability tax credit is the same as any other personal tax credit. It is yours. If every single person in your house qualifies for the disability tax credit, you all get to claim it individually. Mm-hmm. You can give it to parents, you can give it to children, you can transfer it to your spouse.
The question was, they didn't realize more than one person in a household could fill out for the disability tax credit. And yes, you can.
All of you can.
If you have a disability, you have the right to.
Yep. Every one of you can. So
if there's 4 people in your house and 4 people have disabilities, 4 people can fill out for it.
There you go. Start filling them out.
Yep.
Get them into your doctor, get them back to us, we'll get it filed, and and then we sit and wait for the CRA to decide if you're qualified, and then you're good to go.
If you're a husband and spouse, like a husband and wife or whatever, say the wife doesn't work and the husband works, well, then the wife can transfer her credits over to the husband.
Exactly.
And if the husband has it as well, then he gets his credits and her credits.
Right.
So it's huge.
And we have
gigantic.
We have instances like that. Like I have
what constitutes as a disability?
Well, so
there's a huge
it's such a gray area, Janice. It's such a gray area. There's a massive list of things that they say can qualify, but what it comes down to is this. If you are markedly restricted in 1 or 2 basic necessities of life, and those are like the walking, seeing, bowel movements. I was trying to figure out how to say,
We've seen everything from like bowel movement problems, so like people that have IBS, Crohn's disease, colitis, insulin-dependent diabetes, because it's a life-sustaining treatment. We've had people fill out for it for anxiety problems because they're on medications, or
ADHD,
autism.
Of different things. Millions of things.
People that are, blind or vision problems, walking problems, arthritis, anything that basically interrupts your day-to-day life. Here's
the kicker, though. If Tracy has diabetes and Candy has diabetes, Tracy may qualify and Candy might not. That's the thing. It
kind of goes on a person-to-person basis.
It 100% does. If you are learning disabilities is a perfect example. Maybe my learning disability does not qualify, but maybe Tracy's does.
And there has to be a treatment involved.
Yeah, there has to be some sort of
like a resource
therapy
class, or like a medication to keep your child, if it is a child, more concentrated in schoolwork. But you basically, it's all what the doctor puts on the form, really.
Yeah, entirely it does. And I always say to people, go to the doctor who likes you the most, because the more generous he is with accuracy and really describing your situation, the better chances you are of not only getting approved, but getting approved for a longer period of time without having to reapply again. So I'm going to just move this for a second so I can grab, oh no, oops.
What are you looking for?
I had the DTC that just got dropped off. Do you know,
I don't know what
can you
did
grab
with
it for me, Tracy? I threw it over there. I want to just quickly run through this since I just threw it on top. I'm not actually going to talk about hers, but I just want to kind of run through with you guys just some quick things to know about the DTC while we're talking about it, okay? So, it has to be completed by a medical practitioner, first of all. Now, a medical practitioner, by the CRA's description, can include a doctor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a optometrist, a physiotherapist, an occupational therapist, or speech language pathologist, or an audiologist. So all of those things, any one of those people can complete the form for you. So it doesn't have to be your family doctor. It doesn't have to be your specialist. It can be any one of those people, okay? Here's the thing.
If you have hearing problems, wear hearing aids, get your audiologist to fill it out for you.
Yep.
Vision problems, get your optometrist. Whoever will fill it out for you, basically.
And your whether you qualify or not is determined by the effect of the impairment, the duration, and the doctor's certification that it's an issue that involves or disrupts your everyday ability to carry on life as a normal individual. It's a horrible thing to say, but normal individual. But if you have something that restricts
what
you,
is normal? But it has to be some sort of a restriction.
So here's where it's changed. It used to be vision, speaking, hearing, walking. That used to be it. If you didn't have a problem with one of those, you didn't qualify. Now it's vision, speaking. I think I just saw a person. Bear with us just 1 second, folks. Now it's vision, speaking, hearing, walking, eliminating, which is bowel or bladder functions, feeding, dressing, or mental functions necessary for daily life. Mental functions necessary for daily life is where a lot of the anxiety and ADHD stuff falls into, okay? In addition is life-sustaining therapy. Now, life-sustaining therapy is where all these diabetes folks are falling into because they have to have, some of them have insulin dependency. So they have to have these regular shots. Taya! The dog's losing it.
We have a visitor and the dog's barking.
Oh, okay. So, life-sustaining therapy, it basically, if you need the therapy to support a vital function, so insulin dependency.
Or mental illness, if you have to go...
Exactly. If you have to have...
see a psychiatrist once a week, or you have to take...
or if you're on
anxiety medications.
Now here I'm going to qualify something. Taking a pill once a day, that's not going to go, right? It has to be a restriction in your daily life. Mm-hmm. So if you can't take off for 4 hours, this is a hypothetical example, but if you can't take off for 4 hours in your car in the day and not have your medication with you or be able to stop and perform whatever duties you have to perform, then you're in the good zone, right? But if you're in a position where you can just take a pill in the morning and whatever's wrong with you is okay, it's not. They're not going to let that go.
I guess things like asthma, you have to take your rescue inhaler with you. If you take an asthma attack or something, things like that might be classified under. But again, it's kind of a person to person basis.
100%. 100% it is.
It really depends on what your doctor puts on the form.
Right. And I say that over and over again. Just get them to fill out, get them to fill out the form. Mm-hmm. Because in the end, the doctor doesn't decide if you qualify. The CRA decides. Mm-hmm. And they base it on all of those things, all of the answers to all of those little yes-no questions. And then they include something called a cumulative effect of restrictions. So maybe you can walk, but you have to walk with a cane, and maybe you do have to take insulin, but only once a day. Well, those two things cumulative together may be enough of a restriction that you qualify. Mm-hmm. So it's such a gray thing. The DTC is such a gray area. So my advice to everyone is if you think at all you may qualify under one of these types of disabilities, then you need to apply. Because it
And
doesn't cost you anything
bring
to
it
apply.
Yeah, just bring it to us. We'll send it away for you. It doesn't cost anything to apply for it.
Yeah.
The doctor might charge you for filling out the forms. But again, hold on to those receipts because those are medical deductions for your
Tax
income tax.
deduction. Easy enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, 100% if you think there's any possibility that you may qualify, apply.
Yeah, and
Apply
the
for
worst
the
that they can
DTC.
say is no.
Yeah.
You know, you
Well,
get
you-
filled out.
yeah, you wasted
wait
a doctor's
your
appointment.
whatever time it is for them to approve it or disprove it.
Yeah.
They disprove it. You didn't really lose anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's worth it.
And
If they do approve it, woohoo!
and your 16 kids and your husband and you and your mother who's living with you can all apply. It's not limited to the number of people in the house, the one person per
That was
household.
something that we were going to talk about on one of our lives too that we forgot about.
Mm.
If somebody's living with you and you're
Oh,
looking after them,
caregiver.
caregiver.
I want to talk to you about
We have
caregiver.
to do a Friday, but it'll be basically about that because
Yeah.
there's so many different things involved.
Do you know what? We'll touch that next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I will make a note that we will touch that next Friday because I know we
so
were
many
going to
people
plan on
look
doing
after
that.
their parents or
Mhm.
whoever and don't realize that there is
Yeah.
tax deductions for that.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're gonna go over that probably next Friday.
Yeah, I don't like to, we like to keep these videos, as short as we possibly can. We don't want you guys sitting here wasting your entire lunch hour watching us. So, although sometimes Tracy's entertaining, and I most of the time Tracy's entertaining, I don't like to take up a whole pile of your day. So, if there are not any other questions, we'll leave you guys with penalties and disability tax.
And one more thing, no, Tammy, you cannot claim your schooling for your driver's license. Sorry.
Yeah. If you take driver's ed courses, you can't, unless of course you're opening a business that requires that. If you're going to be a taxi
driver, then yes. But my sister is not going to be a taxi driver. She is just getting her license to get her license.
And actually, you can't even do it if you're going to be a taxi driver for somebody else's company.
It has to be
It would
your
only
own
count if
company.
you were running your own business. Then it would be deduction.
So whenever I decide to drive, maybe I'll become a taxi company. Candy will never let me leave.
All right, guys. Thank
All
you
right.
very much for tuning in.
Bye.
We appreciate that you're continuing to support us and share the video.
Don't forget the tax ladies on YouTube.
The tax ladies.
Search for us.
Look for our little green thing and
Crap. I dropped something.
Tracy's wrecking the desk. All right, guys. Yell if you have any questions. We'll address them next week. We're going to talk about the caregiver amount next week as well. And in the meantime, if you have any tax emergency questions, do not hesitate to reach out to us because we will help you.
We'll be here. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.